evening and welcome to the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, a program that keeps you abreast of development in the agricultural sector in Nigeria. I am Aisha Muhammad Ahmed, standing in for your regular host. In our last episode, we started a review of some of the activities in the agricultural sector since the assumption of office of the present Minister of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Tonight, we shall continue with that review, focusing on collaborative efforts of the ministry alongside other activities. But before then, we have news from the ministry in our first segment of the program. Keep watching.
Every part of Nigeria has something to offer.
The program kickstarts with news from the diary of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. In our lineup, Katsina State Government partners with Agric Ministry to ensure food security. Similarly, Ekiti State Government seeks collaboration of Agric Ministry to scale up agricultural programs. Details of these and other news will come up shortly after this break. Keep watching. The Katsina State Government has assured the federal government of its readiness to partner with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in ensuring food security for the nation. The governor of Katsina State, Dikko Umar Radda, gave this assurance during a courtesy call on the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in Abuja. Governor Dikko stated that Katsina State government has agriculture as one of the agenda of the administration, and the state is supporting farmers with inputs, training, as well as providing extension agents across the state. He said the state would be ready to implement federal government's programs to ensure food security.
I want to assure the honorable ministers that Katsina State is ready to key in all the projects of the federal government to support our farmers, and at our own level we will do whatever possible as the finances will allow, so that we help the farmers, because the major focus of our administration are three things. First, I said security, and then the next focus is agriculture, because once there is security, then you should provide food security as well. So this is our major focus, and the government is ready to spend a lot of resources in that,
especially in the dry.
Responding, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, appreciated efforts of Katsina State government in the agricultural sector. He further stated that Katsina State is one of the frontline states for dry season farming, and the ministry would establish a task force to ensure the success of agricultural programs.
In addition, we're going to set up, both from our own side and also from the state side, a team, a task force team, to make sure that this program is successful. Some of the things that we have discussed earlier, the round-tripping issues, the lack of verifiable data, the inability for farmers to come up with their own portion because of the precarious economic situation that we found ourselves in. I think by the time we collaborate with the frontline states such as Katsina, we will come up with a very successful program.
Similarly, Ekiti State Governor Biodun Abayomi Oyebandi recently sought for collaboration between the states and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to boost agricultural production in the state. Governor Biodun stated this during his courtesy call on the ministry, saying that within the past 14 months of his administration, the state has enlightened the farmers to see agriculture as a business. He said that the state has supported farmers with grants, land clearing, low-interest loans, input and reliable data for farmers.
My visit here today actually is to explore area of collaboration with the ministry in the following areas, Honorable Ministers. We want to be part of your agro pocket scheme, the dry and wet season farming. We are prepared for that. And we also want to see if it's possible for you to assist us with mechanization and tractorization. Because in Ekiti, what we have done is to subsidize tractor hiring for our farmers. We also want to hire tractor, we pay 50% of the cost. The government pays 50% of the cost, and it's a lot of money. And we now discovered that we had an influx of people wanting to do it, but there's a budget limitation. Yeah. So it can discourage them when they registered and now 50% is not coming.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, appreciated the effort of the Governor of Ekiti State and assured him of the ministry's commitment to work with the states to ensure food security.
In recognition of this and consequent upon your efforts, evident in the mobilization of farmers and other resources available at the state level towards the renewed hope for food security agenda of the federal government, we are further ready to collaborate and partner with you. Thank you.
In a bid to ensure the success of the dry season farming program of the federal government and to ensure food security in the country, the Kebbi State government has purchased 6,000 solar pumps to be distributed to farmers for irrigation farming in the state. This was disclosed by Governor Muhammad Nasir Idris of Kebbi State during his courtesy visit to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security recently. The governor further disclosed that his administration in the state had previously distributed fertilizers worth 2.8 billion naira to farmers in the state and would collaborate with the ministry to ensure the success of the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket Program.
Kebbi State has already purchased solar pumps, 6,000. Wow. Because of the issue of pump price increase, we want to purchase 12,000. But available, we have 6,000 that we want to distribute to our farmers. And I want to assure you that we use a criterion by cluster system so that our farmers will be able to get and go back to farm and farm. We don't have anything more than to provide food for our people and for the nation.
2023.
In his welcome address, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, appreciated the effort of the state government and highlighted what needed to be done to ensure that the right farmer benefits from the second phase of the dry season farming program.
I would like to draw Your Excellency's attention to what would be critical success factors in the federal government's intervention in the second phase of the dry, wet season farming that will involve the cultivation of rice, maize, and cassava. Availability of credible farmers' data and accurately geo-referenced farmlands are germane. This is to ensure that agro inputs and any other support get to the real farmers who have the requisite hectareage to cultivate and are therefore not at the mercy of portfolio farmers who hijack agro inputs and later round trip to the economic detriment of genuine farmers. Your Excellency, I am aware that more than 2/3 of the local government areas of Kebbi State are suitable for rice cultivation. With adequate readiness Kebbi should benefit from the second phase of the dry, wet season farming that is due to commence in a couple of weeks.
Since the present ministers assumed office in August 2023, they have been part of various workshops organized by the ministry or its partners. They've also received various stakeholders on courtesy visit. In all of this, their message has always been how to ensure food security in the country, re-emphasizing their commitment to change the narrative of the agricultural sector for better. Reviewing these meetings will be the focus of our next segment, a record of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Keep watching.
Stakeholders' engagements play significant roles in policy and program formulation as well as implementation. In the light of this, the Ministers of Agriculture and Food Security, since assumption of office, have organized and participated in workshops, summits, and courtesy calls to ensure food security in the country. The meetings include Africa Agric Machine Equipment and Technology Expo, AMETEX, Seed Connect Africa Conference and Exhibition, Africa Cassava Conference, Trains of Staff on Agro-Allied Enterprises, Agric Ministry Training of Staff on Public Procurement, Awareness Campaign on Rabies and Dog Vaccination, World Food Day Press Briefing and Sensitization, among others. From 20th to 24th of November 2023, stakeholders in Nigeria's agricultural sector converged at the International Conference Center, Abuja, for the second edition of Africa Agric Machine Equipment and Technology Expo AMETEX 2023.
Aimed at
Speaking at the occasion, the Minister of State, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, who was the host of the event, stated that the occasion provided opportunities for investors in agricultural machines and equipment to showcase their products and for farmers and processors to have access to cost-effective mechanized equipment, among other benefits.
1. Exposing African farmers to modern farming practices, increase direct agriculture foreign investment, create new businesses, expose African farmers to cost-effective farm machinery and new farming technologies, exchange of agricultural technological values, increase in foreign exchange earnings, and enhance export of agricultural produce from Africa.
Also during the period under review, the National Agricultural Seed Council, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, as well as some private sector players in the seed industry, organized Seed Connect Africa Conference and Exhibition. The event is the largest gathering of seed industry stakeholders in Africa that deliberates on the prospects and challenges of agricultural seed system in Africa. Speaking during the conference, the Minister of State, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, who presented a lead paper titled Food Emergency: What Impact Can Seed Industry Make and How Can It Be Done?, stated that it was high time Africans take deliberate action in handling climate change while developing and utilizing good agricultural seeds.
With the economic situation around the world, it is time for Africans to wake up and look at productivity per unit area instead of cutting more trees down, leaving us to the vagaries of climate change. We have the best of brains, which we need to utilize to the fullest. It is therefore time for Africa to feed Africa, and it starts from the right seed.
Also during the period under review, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, in collaboration with other stakeholders, organized the Africa Cassava Conference 2023 as an effort to enhance cassava value chain and to stimulate industrialization in the Africa continent. Speaking during the opening of the conference, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, who was represented by the Director, Federal Department of Agriculture, Engineer Abdullahi Garba Abakar assured the stakeholders of the commitment of the ministry to the outcome of the conference.
Let me use this opportunity to commend the effort of the African Union Commission, other partners, and private sector for organizing this Africa Cassava Conference 2023 in Nigeria, as these will facilitate how stakeholders can work to develop a robust, commercially driven, and economically viable cassava sector that will not only contribute to food and nutrition security, but also increasingly contribute to growth of the commodity in Nigeria and Africa as a continent.
In the period under review, the federal government also organized the World Rabies Day, during which it provided free vaccination of dogs to prevent rabies and address the public health concern of the disease.
From these states in the recent past,
the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, during the interministerial press briefing organized to mark the day, disclosed that the rollout of the vaccines came on the heels of reported cases of dog bites and to mark the 2023 World Rabies Day.
the federal government is organizing mass dog vaccination and vaccination at risk humans nationwide. 4 states, namely Cross River, Plateau, Kaduna, and Borno states, have also been earmarked for the community engagement activities for this year's celebration due to increased reports from these states in the recent past in order to create more awareness.
Another event during which the ministers showed the commitment of the federal government to actualizing the food security mandate was during the celebration of the World Food Day. On that day, the ministry visited farm clusters in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and supported the farmers with farm inputs.
So we have here for you maize kits, rice kits, bioinsecticide, pesticide.
The leaders of the farm clusters appreciated the ministry and pledged the proper utilization of the inputs by his cooperative.
After we have departed, I have to come down and organize my cooperative members so that all the input and equipment I must to explain so that we should take the major step so that we can take it and use it by next season.
You're watching the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, and we are reviewing major activities of the ministry since the ministers assumed office in August 2023. Aside the aforementioned events, the ministers have received quite a number of partners on courtesy calls like Commodity Association, Development Partners, signing Memorandum of Understanding, just as it set up technical committees towards actualizing the food security agenda of Mr. President and the mandate of the ministry. Let's review some of these visits in our next segment.
During the period under review, the ministers also received a briefing on the Agroclimate Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscape, ACRISAL project. The project is targeted at reclaiming 1 million hectares of degraded farmland across the 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, within 6 years. The project, which commenced in June 2022, has been able to reclaim 4,000 hectares of degraded land.
The main deliverable is to restore 1 million hectares of degraded land in the northern parts of the country, and to strengthen institutions such as the Ministry for Agric, Environment, Water, Women Resources, the disaster management, and other ministries.
Reacting to the briefing on the project, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, appreciated the team and urged members to scale up efforts to ensure that the largest of 1 million hectares is achieved within the 6 years.
Express our appreciation on behalf of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security for having time to come and address us today and brief us on your program. You have also listened to our comments and concerns, and I hope you would take it upon yourselves to see that those issues are addressed so that we can all move the project forward.
A team of experts from the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria also paid a courtesy call to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security during the period under review. This was in a bid to further strengthen collaboration in the agricultural sector between Nigeria and the United States.
The potential that the agriculture sector holds, as it held in the past, to be a major source of economic growth and job creation for Nigeria, for the region, and quite frankly for the world. Nigeria's economic potential is extraordinary, and we want to help you realize that for the benefit of Nigerians and Americans.
One of the key areas that we have observed with American agriculture is the sustainability. You have sustained good agricultural practices and production, and even processing of agricultural produce. And we believe that we can share some of your experiences with us, and which will also strengthen our food security aspect that we have.
Another major event that has been held to reposition the agricultural sector during the period under review was the signing of Memorandum of Understanding between the federal government and John Deere Company to assemble and sell tractors and other agricultural equipment to farmers across the country.
And also, John Deere is also bringing capacity building because they have the experience, apart from bringing in the equipment and the implements. They're also going to train our artisans, our mechanics to maintain those equipments. Tractors without after-sales service is not a tractor. Usually a tractor lasts here in Nigeria without any adequate care, lasts not more than 2-3 years, as we all know it. But I think they have a record of having tractors being sustained years on end. And I believe that will be the partnership that will bring about capacity building and also transfer of knowledge to our farmers. Without taking too much of our time, I believe this will enhance a lot of job creation and economic growth for our country.
We focus on mechanization for yield improvement and for bringing more hectares into production for Nigeria to improve food security. We focus on access for finance to enable end-use contractors and SMEs to purchase these assets, to put them to productive use to serve their customers. We focus on the reliability and repair of this equipment to keep it operational. And we focus on the technology and training to support the entire ecosystem and ensure that we're upskilling all of the people that are involved in this ecosystem with a focus on women and youth as well.
Thank you for watching our program this evening as we reviewed some of the events of 2023. We will continue to keep you abreast as events unfolds this year. Remember to engage in at least one aspect of agriculture, be it farming, processing, or marketing. Food security is a collective responsibility. I am Aisha Muhammad Ahmed. Have a pleasant night rest and bye for now.